So 27 years after It Chapter 1, the loser club must get together again, go to Derry and fight a clown. And that's basically the story for It Chapter 2. Now, before I start talking about what I liked and didn't like, I want to just properly explain how much the first one means to me. This is on my leg. So to say like that film is one of my all-time favourite movies, it's an understatement, man. I love it so much. So my hype and expectation and my needs was so high for Chapter 2. So I'm going to start with what I did like, and the cast was incredible, man. As Chapter 2 is set 27 years later, all of the loser club are now grown-ass men and women. And straight up, I don't like using the word perfect too much, but the casting was perfect. Every single person who played an older version of a character from Chapter 1 was perfect. If I had to pick a standout performance, it'd definitely be Bill Hader. The dude killed it. And he's on screen, he's so funny, man. We also get the younger loser club. They take up a nice, decent amount of screen time, and we get some really good scenes from Chapter 1, which are basically flashbacks, but there's also a negative about the flashbacks, which I'll talk about later. Bill Skarsgård, again, returns to play Pennywise. I don't need to say anything, man. His face is on my leg. I don't need to say anything else. He is so good as Pennywise, man, and he kills it in Chapter 2. He was excellent. Scare-wise, it's a mixed bag. There's a lot of scary scenes, but nothing, like, too scary. I think it's because, like, we're from the perspective, right, of adults. So it kind of changes the film overall. With that being said, when the movie tries to scare you, it's going to catch you out, man. It's got super creepy scenes. It's got some good jump scares too. But the gore has definitely been amplified since the first film. That is unquestionable. And I loved it. I don't know what the budget was for this film compared to the first film, but I'm 99% sure it was a lot more, because there's things this movie does which is just insane. The film also catches you out, right? There's a lot of scenes that you're just like, holy If you're underage and you watch this film, just prepare to be traumatised. Probably for life. Now, boys and girls, I'm going to talk about some stuff that I wasn't too happy with. First of all, I wasn't joking, man. They meet up 27 years later and they fight a clown. That's the story. The story is super simple, man. Number one story was super simple too, but they're from perspectives of children. Now they're from perspectives of adults. I don't know, man. It feels very simple. I don't know how else to explain it. And there's also another problem with the story being simple. It's nearly 3 whole hours. I'm so certain, right, that the studio could have, like, sliced off 20 to 30 minutes, and it probably would have helped the film out big time, because the runtime is a massive negative. And that alone breaks me little heart. Just because how much I loved the first film, man. I'm so invested with these characters. And I knew before I went to see the film, it's 3 hours. And I was just like, that's fine with me, man. I'm not going to lie to you, boys and girls. It felt 3 hours, man. It felt very long. There was like 2 scenes which I'm going to use the word bored. And in my opinion, they were like throwaway scenes, man. They could have been shaved completely off the film, and it would have helped a big time. Now, I said moments ago that the old cast are in the movie. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a win. Young version, old version, it doesn't matter. Any version of those characters on the screen, and I'm happy. But It Chapter 1 came out 2 years ago. Now, some of those young actors, they don't look anything like how they did 2 years ago. Now, what they've done is they've CGI'd their face to make them look the age that they were from the first film. Because the flashbacks that they're in are integral to the story for Chapter 2, and those scenes take place in Chapter 1, we just didn't see it. And it's super noticeable, man. There's 2 characters. I'm not going to spoil it, because I actually want you guys to see if you can work out which 2 characters I'm on about. When they're on screen, their faces is just... It's not a huge complaint, but it took me out of the movie, man, but it's noticeable. And lastly, there's like a few little plot threads that they didn't go through 100%, man. And I really wish they did, considering the film is 3 hours long. They had the runtime to do it, they just didn't. And if I'm going to be totally, like, nitpicky and stuff, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure Pennywise's screen time is less than the first one. Even though the film's longer. Now, overall, guys, this was a very, very good film, man. It was indeed long. Some of the CGI was questionable at best. And the story was a tiny bit weak. But at the heart of the story, like, way before it's a horror film, forget Pennywise, forget all that stuff. It's a character film. And when they're on screen, it's epic. When they first get back together, that scene, I'm not going to spoil anything, it's amazing. I loved it so much. And not only that, gore, the scares, the evil clown. I loved it too. They've got new ideas for the clown to make him even more scary. I loved it. Now I know at least one person's going to ask me it now. Is it better than the first one? No chance. Is it a bad movie? Hell no. It's a very, very good movie, man. And for that reason, I'm going to give It Chapter 2 8 Georgies out of 10. Anyone who loved the first one, they're going to love this film, man. Definitely. If the first one, like, it wasn't for you, then you're probably going to feel the same about the second one. And do not bring, like, some gigantic bottle of soda, because you'll regret it big time. And if anyone wants to talk about Pennywise, let me know in the comment section below. But please keep it spoiler-free. And remember, you will subscribe.